Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is
Messy. Hey, everybody. We are so happy to be bringing Messy back to you. We are both still in the middle of our book tour stuff, but we want to bring you new episodes. So for a few weeks, some might just have me and some might just have Christina, but we will be back to our regular scheduled programming soon. Don't you worry. In the meantime, enjoy this episode I got to do with my husband, Cutter. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Messy. This is just Jamie today, but not just Jamie. Life is happening. People are busy, and I'm very excited to have a conversation with somebody that probably knows me better than anyone in this world. But it's a chance to flip the script a bit on Messy and get the point of view from a partner and a caregiver. Because I think a lot of you have written in talking about how you've shared our episodes with the people closest to you, your family members, your spouses, whatever it may be, so that they can get a better understanding of what we, the patients, I guess you call us, are going through. But I think it's also very important for us to get the perspective of our caregivers and what they go through, because their feelings are just as important in this journey and in this matter. And Cutter, my husband, in my opinion, is the epitome of a caregiver. He would win a gold medal if they gave him for it. He was born that way. He was wired that way. But he's just somebody that I know will share honestly and generously. So without further ado, please welcome my husband, Cutter.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot. You know, I don't have to tell you, navigating a life with a chronic illness, I think you think about it even more than I do at times, is incredibly difficult. But I do want to, like I said, take the next 60 minutes or so to honor you and your journey with this, because it's important to me, and I know a lot of other people out there.
Yeah. And it's awesome to be able to do this. You know, we've done, other podcasts together that are mainly comedy based. And while we'll still have some comedy in this, it's nice to be able to talk about these things and speak to other husbands and wives who have a partner who are going through this, and, the challenges and, also the beauty of it in certain ways, but the challenges. And, whenever I meet someone who has a wife with either MS or something going on, similar, it's like an instant kind of like bond, or kind of like look at each other. Cause while it's, not rare, it is in a way to for spouses to be able to communicate with each other and be open. I think, when you have MS or something going on where you're able to find other peers that have it, and kind of, use each other and lean on each other. But I think spouses really don't have that. It's important.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wanted to start with, by the way, I think I've done more prep for this episode than any I've ever done before.
Oh, wow. You nervous?
I'm not nervous.
Yeah,
I think
you're
I'm
nervous.
just like, I think it just means a lot to me. And obviously, like, sharing you with the world means a lot to me. And I just think you're so good at what you do. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you met me with MS. I know a lot of couples, they can be diagnosed already well into their relationship. But for our particular situation, I came with it. It was a package deal with me. And it's progressed, right? In the 15 years that we've been together. And so have my needs for you and for help. And like I said earlier, you by nature are a caregiver. It's just kind of like how you're wired. You're like, you can't help yourself but anticipate anyone's needs around you. It's one of the things I love most about you. But was there a moment in our relationship that others might be able to relate to, or a time where you realize like, oh, I'm going to have to be a caretaker for her in this relationship?
There wasn't like a specific moment. I think, when we first met, it wasn't even really, I didn't ever think of it that way. I wasn't ever worried about the future or what this means. And, I didn't really even know what it really was. I know the name of it is like really scary. Like it's like a intense kind of name. I was like, what is that? And you explained it. And, obviously I dove in and learned more about it. But as I was doing that, I was never thinking or worried about really the future. More so just, excited and knowing that you've been alone throughout all this a lot of the time, to be that person with you was, like you said, it gives me joy, and it's just kind of how I'm wired. And maybe that's why I, did end up, part of the plan is being with you so I could, be that person for you. And
amongst other things, I hope too.
Yeah, of course. But I was never like, oh my God, how am I going to be a caretaker for her for a certain amount of time, or when is that going to happen? I think a lot of people, people in my life even mentioned like, are you really going to, do this? Do you know, like this is going to be a lot? And, it never even really crossed my mind, because I love being there for you and fighting this and all that. So,
but if it did, and you and I have discussed this, that would be okay. I think I've told you, like I would understand if there was ever a moment to not second guess being with me, but just have pause of like, okay, this is going to be not exactly possibly how I envisioned, or this is going to be difficult at times on top of whatever life is too, And I have tried to make sure as your partner to know that you could communicate that with me freely, and I would understand and accept those feelings,
Yeah. I mean, you're always in the reality of the moment, and you gotta, I know I can share
Okay,
that.
good. Well, I do this all the time, but do you ever grieve the version of me or the version of life that not that I'm not incredibly grateful and fulfilled and happy with the life that we have, but the life that we could have had if I didn't have MS?
No, honestly, no. I know you do. But I know that's hard. But I guess my mind doesn't really like work that way. I'm not gonna think about what, like what could be, what could have been, like how we would be if you didn't have this. Like it really is just kind of like wasted energy and sadness. And I still, there's still hope for, who knows what's going to happen. We could wake up tomorrow and there be, something happens and there's a cure or something, there's hope for that. Like, why not spend energy on hope for, a cure of this instead of what it would be like if you didn't have it? Because the reality is you do have it, and, this is where we're at. And I don't want to, there's no sense in getting sad about that part of it, right?
Yeah. And I think that you are a big part of the reason why I am able to have the acceptance I have around it, and able to have the outlook that I have around it, and the presence to have around it, because I've wanted you to go there with me many times of like, I wish you could have gotten healthy, Jamie, or if we could have done this with the boys, or this wouldn't be so difficult. And you really never let me go there. And I get frustrated sometimes that you don't let me go there, but I appreciate it more, because I do think that it's shaped a lot of my resilience and my attitude and my outlook with this. And that's just, one of the things I think we're going to highlight. And by the way, this isn't pressure like all caregivers need to be this. This is like a nuanced thing, and everybody's different. But this is just a moment for me with you to honor.
Yeah. And I'm not like, I still get very sad and angry throughout it. It's not like far from perfect in that way.
Yeah, I know.
I think the closest I've gotten to what you're saying is, like said, like one day we'll do this. Like one day, like it's not like we should be doing this right now. Like this wasn't like we shouldn't be thinking like if you didn't have this, we'd be doing this now. It's like, well, one day, maybe we can, that might happen one day.
Yeah. Has my living with MS changed how you see yourself or how you see the world or other people?
I mean, I would imagine yes. I can't really like think of specific. I think the big thing is you realize that everyone has, an issue or issues, whether it be health or trauma or, family. Like everyone has certain things. And I think the one thing that really overpowers everything is really health, right? Like,
yeah,
I know you get frustrated if you see someone who's, not the nicest person or and I've taken it on too, where if someone's like just a miserable person or has something they complain about and you're like, well, shit, if I just could get up and walk to the bathroom without thinking about every step, there's nothing in the world that would make me sad again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it puts a lot of things into perspective for me, and I think that's the biggest thing is the perspective of people deal with a lot of things, and you never know what someone's dealing with. I'm always ready when we pull into a handicap spot and I put it up and someone sees that they think that you might not have anything, and I'm like, part of me is like waiting for someone to say something so I can just explode, but I think because you don't know what people are going through, and it's not fair to ever call people out without knowing.
I know. Support for Messy comes from Zoc Doc. Life can feel like a giant big puzzle, and you're constantly trying to fit all the pieces together, right? Okay, your career, your passions, your relationships, your finances, and then, of course, let's not forget the most important one of all that we all tend to kind of put on the side, your health. Sometimes we're just feeling like we don't have time for this doctor. We don't have time to make that appointment, or the next appointment you can get is weeks away and you forget about it. Well, not anymore with Zoc Doc. Zoc Doc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality, in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. We are talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 150,000 providers across all 50 states. So whether you're looking for dermatology, dentistry, primary care, eye care, or one of the other 200 plus specialties offered on Zoc Doc, you can easily search by specialty, by symptom, and build the care team that's right for you. You can do a video visit, by the way. You can see the doctor in person. You can find verified patient reviews. You can find people in your network. And appointments made through Zoc Doc happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. So stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/messy to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. That is ZocDoc.com/messy, ZocDoc.com/messy. Thanks, Zoc Doc, for sponsoring this message. Support for Messy comes from Lola Blankets. Oh my God. I think there's a Lola blanket on every bed and couch in my home. And I honestly can't think of a better gift for Mother's Day than a Lola blanket. I think it's the perfect Mother's Day gift because it's warm and it's cozy. It's machine washable. It's luxurious. It's thoughtful in a way that flowers are, but it's not gonna die. These are true miracle blankets. They have so many styles and collaborations and colors. There's a reason why it's the world's #1 blanket. It is crafted with ultra soft faux fur, their signature therapeutic 4-way stretch. It's the kind of quality that really gives the feel of a luxurious high-end gift for not too bad of a price. Because guess what? With our code MESSY, you're going to get 40% off. That's right. For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola Blanket products with code MESSY at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code MESSY. After your purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. This Mother's Day, wrap mom in the everyday luxury of Lola Blankets. Are there ever things that you feel but don't say out loud, whether it's to not hurt me or burden me? Do you find yourself censoring yourself because you know that and not even necessarily about anything to do with me, but because you know what I'm dealing with, you hold back what you might be feeling as to just not put anything more on my plate, Do you ever find yourself doing that?
I think the biggest one that I have a tough time doing, and I think there's a good balance of it, is when you're really sad, when you're having like a day where you're just sad and kind of angry. It's hard for me to get there with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for me to get there with you because, as a, man are fixers and you want to whatever you're going through, how can I help fix this? But I do know a lot of times you just want me to be sad with you, but it is hard for me because it's if we're both sad, but deep down, obviously I'm more sad than trying to fix it, right? It's hard for me to get really sad about this with you. That's a big one.
It's hard for me to hear because I think as much as I can lean on you physically, I want to feel like as your partner, I'm somebody you can lean on and I'm somebody that you can depend on and you can open and I can hold space for your emotions and your feelings. And there are for sure times where I know that you're not sharing with me exactly what you're going through. And on one hand, I appreciate it because you're being conscious of me and what I go through. But on the other hand, it actually makes me feel even worse because I'm and then I can't even be the partner that he needs. It just feels like it almost layers on to the moment that I'm in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're always the partner that I need. It's not about if I'm sad, and I guess sad for me isn't really I'm more my feeling towards what you deal with is much more anger than sadness, if that makes sense.
I could imagine that being common for men.
Yeah, I'm not just angry, right? Why do you have to deal with this? Why does anyone have to deal with this? And I think if I come to you and I'm angry and I'm sad about it, putting myself in your shoes, I would imagine it's hard not to, I know you think it's hard for you, but I also, and I've done it before, I'm not always not doing it, but
yeah,
I do think it's hard not to make you upset, right? Because you probably could be on top of all I have to deal with, he's dealing with this and look at him and all that. So,
but I can tell you, for me, that wouldn't do that. it would actually almost do the opposite. Like, I almost feel like if there was a moment where you were like, I'm so scared for our future, Jamie, like, which is a completely valid and like supported feeling if you had from me, I think it would almost like ignite a strength in me to be like, you know what I mean? Like the thing that happens to you when you have to be there for somebody else would almost like pick me up. Maybe not all the time, but I could imagine most of the time, or just knowing me, like, I think I would have the opposite reaction than what you think. Like, I don't think I would feel weighed down more in it. I'd feel more of like, oh, we're in this together. Like, we both feel this and we're going to be strong together. Like, I think that sometimes as partners in general, we could assume that if our partner's in pain, we don't want to put any more on them. And for certain scenarios, that's true. But I think in a chronic situation, in the few times only that I've ever seen you be vulnerable and openly emotional about this reality that MS is kind of like the other woman in our relationship that I like to call her sometimes, like when you've been that emotional, it's like you're in the battle with me. Not that I don't feel like you're always in the battle, but do you know what I mean? Like we're full, like I see you, I feel you, like almost what I feel like when I meet somebody else with MS. Like when you can match me emotionally, I don't think it would land exactly as you're thinking it would. I think it actually is an invitation to open up even more. And I don't know, I find strength in those moments, oddly enough.
Yeah, I think I am always feeling those things, right? Like it's not, I don't like shut it off. I'm not like, oh, like we're all like, I always am feeling those things. And, it's good to know that it would be helpful to express them more.
Yeah.
But I do feel like every second, every day I'm in this fight with you in a way, like just as much as you in a way. And for me, it's especially with this, it's really hard for me to go there and worry about the future because it's such an unknown.
How do you cope with the fear of the unknown?
I don't think about it.
You just don't let yourself go there?
No, I have. Like the one thing I've learned in dealing with, this, I think you have to take it a day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes literally an hour by an hour, because, and in a way it's similar to baseball. Like you can't think about the whole season. You take it in at bat by an at bat. And like that's how my brain's wired through that. Like if I go 0 for 10, that's not good. No. But I'm going to have hundreds of more at bats over the next couple months. And I could go 10 for 12. Like, you know what I mean? So like it's hard. I can't worry about the future, because it's an unknown. And isn't like the definition of anxiety, we're just worrying about the future, right? Mm-hmm. So day at a time for me.
Yeah.
But all that being said, doesn't make it much easier, right? It's like, yeah, I'm still sad and angry a lot about it, right? And
in the moments like you were talking about, right? When I have my days or times when I'm angry and sad and frustrated, I know that my kind of natural reaction is to kind of push you away, to kind of hole up, to push everyone away. I'm not proud of that. It's just kind of what happens, and you handle it really well. But how can I be better in those moments? Or is it okay?
of course it's okay, you're going through it and, but I do think I'm always trying to find the right thing to do when you're having those moments. And I mentioned it's hard for me to just kind of crawl up and be sad about it. But I do think if you know that every, ounce of me is just trying to help that moment in whatever way I'm doing it, the intention is that, and that I'm feeling everything that you're feeling as well, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying, I'm trying to do whatever I can to help.
So on the subject of me sort of communicating better and letting you in better, is there something you wish I would like say or do or even ask more often? Because I don't like help. We know this. I get very frustrated that I need help. It's one of my bigger lessons that come with this. And sometimes you're helping especially if it's in a moment or time where I'm not feeling as great and I'm needing it a lot more, like I start to misinterpret it as like control.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I start to get very resentful of the fact that I am this type of partner for you and you are having to use so much of your time and energy on me. I misinterpret you. I'm sure you're not misinterpreting me, but like how can we know, like, and a caregiver know? Because you handle this so well. So for somebody that might be new to this journey with a partner or whatever, like, how can that person know when it's time to step up and when it's time to back off, and also not take things personally? Because you really do a good job of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I think like, well, for one, that you have the, knowing that you have the awareness that sometimes you're just stuck. No matter what I can do is not going to make it better. If anything, it could make it worse. To not be, to know that your partner is hopefully, right? Like if we're talking about other, like hopefully they're doing everything they can to be there for you in that moment, to help you to kind of change the perspective or whatever it might be. If that's not what you want and there's nothing that you need at that moment, just be vocal about what you want during it, like in a way of like, hey.
But sometimes I don't even know.
Well, then you start kind of spiraling. Like, I'm like, okay, nothing I do is right? Like nothing I'm doing right now is right. So I'm adding to her pain, her sadness. So I think like just acknowledge that person's trying and be like, I love you. I know what I know what you're wanting to do. I'm just not in a moment where I can receive anything. I'll let you know when I can, or like, almost like.
And sometimes that doesn't happen in the moment. Sometimes that happens an hour later, right? When you're like out of the frustrating moment. Because a lot of my moments when when you see me physically struggling, I'm in like fight or flight. You know what I mean? Whether I'm like, I'm worried I'm about to pee my pants, or like I'm trying to, like, I just want to walk and make it to the car, and I don't want to like have everybody, like make a spectacle of the aid that I need, or like I'm just like all of my senses and all of my body's on like such high alert, and it's almost like a I don't know, like a toddler in a tantrum. Like you see red, like I'm offline. Like I can't have an open, like healthy form of communication with you. Like I'm in my own frustration, and again, you handle it very well in the moments when I sort of do act out. But yes, in the moments of repair later, it is the time to say, like what you were saying, like, I just couldn't take your help in that moment. And sometimes it just sucks to have to need help.
Yeah. And I know, you know, we've been together for a while, right? And I know, you know, I if anything, we're closer because of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I know exactly when you're in those moments, and I know exactly, you know, your frustration that you're dealing with that I'm like, that I'm dealing with it. Like I know that at certain times, just like, let's just, you know, let's get through this moment, like, and reset, you know. I think I'm always very, very well aware of when those moments are. And I'm, in a way, I'm in fight or flight too with you, right? Like, I don't even, you know, I'm in it.
Yeah. And I think I also get like doubly frustrated when our children are around, because I don't want them to like remember those moments with me, you know? Like, I want them to remember like us doing things together and like happy times. And like, I don't want them to see me struggle, even though I know it's part of it and they'll get their own beautiful lessons from that as well. Like, I think that makes it doubly hard for me, you know?
Yeah. And I don't think they're quite as aware as you think of it. I think they're young enough where...
Bo is.
Yeah, I mean, he knows when you're struggling, but I do think he's not like remembering moments, you know? He's
just
you know, they don't look at you that way. Like, this is they know you, how, you know, you're their mom, and like they're not I'm trying to you know, they're not like looking at
judging.
They're not judging moments by that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of things there's tons of things that we do.
I know.
You know?
Support for Messy comes from Honeylove. I've talked about Honeylove before. We love their Cross Flex sports bra for all the reasons you love, and has none of the things you hate about a sports bra. There's no uni boob. There's no digging. There's no riding. This is a perfectly fit, perfectly supportive, wear all day, you forget you have it on sports bra. They've got their crossover triple bra bundle. So, you know, if you want a full refresh in your bra drawer, you get huge savings by buying 3 at once. You gotta love to support a brand like this. It's an independent, female-founded brand with products designed by women who actually wear them, including their founder, Betsy. And Honeylove doesn't just make bras and shapewear. They've built a full line. They've got tanks, bodysuits, underwear with supportive structures, smoothing fabrics, and premium finishes. They just launched their crossover contour bra also, which features their best-selling wireless crossover bra design, plus a built-in molded light foam pad for extra support and a beautifully contoured shape. So treat yourself to the most advanced bras and shapewear on the market. Use our exclusive link to save 20% off Honeylove at honeylove.com/messy. That's honeylove.com/messy. After you check out, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in comfort and support with Honeylove. Support for Messy comes from Jones Road Beauty. I don't know about you, but the older I get, it's like I need makeup, but I don't want to look like I'm wearing makeup. I want stuff that just enhances what I've got, works with what I'm, been given by the good Lord, and just make me look the best I can. And Jones Road Beauty does just that. First, I'm going to tell you got to start with their Jones Road Beauty Miracle Balm. It just enhances your skin instead of masking it with layers of makeup. It gives you this
effortless, natural look. It replaces so many steps in my routine, by the way. I use it as a highlighter, a bronzer, a blush, a lip tint. It's kind of like the ultimate no-fuss multitasker. They have so much wonderful products in this line. All of them are actually good for your skin as well. So nothing is clogging your pores. Nothing is cakey. They are high performing and clean. Okay. There's no sulfates, no BPA, all of the good stuff, none of the bad. And it doesn't just have their Miracle Balm, okay? They've got a full line of effortless skin first staples, just like their Just Enough Tinted Moisturizer. Oh, and they have the new Lip Recharge. This is a brand new product. It is your next holy grail. It is a powerful lip treatment that refreshes, smooths, and hydrates on contact while nourishing your lips over time. Modern day makeup that's clean, strategic, and multifunctional for effortless routines. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a free shimmer face oil on their first purchase when they use code MESS at checkout. Just head to jonesroadbeauty.com and use code MESS at checkout. And after your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
Well, on that note, I mean, I think you have really encouraged me and taught me and helped me to understand our limits, but then move forward with them. And you've also respected my independence. You know, I think there's times and moments where you're like, can you handle this? Like, do you want it? And I'm like, no, I want to do it. And you always step back and let me try. And let me go for it. And I appreciate that because even if I can't, it's important for me to at least try. And you've really, I think, allowed me to embrace the pivot and the adjustments that just have to be made that when you have a chronic illness or when you have a disability or things like that, because, still feeling like our little family train and our little life is moving forward on a track and not sort of stalled into the side, and that we're just going to take things as they come. And I think for any caregiver, to respect again your partner's independence and their limits as a team and continue to move forward has helped me continue to pursue a career and my life, because there's many times where I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Or didn't think I could.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of develop a gauge of, some days you're ready to get going and have a day or have an hour where you're up, doing the dishes, cooking. I see you really pushing yourself. And those are the moments where I know okay, she's having that independent moment where if she needs me, she'll let me know. And then there's other times where I see okay, I'm going to pick up the slack here, wherever we might be. And then there's that other moment where I don't really know what you want, where you're at. So yeah, always ready.
It's a dance.
Yeah, it is.
How do you deal with your resentment around this? Or do you have resentment?
It's
because it's not personal to me. It's it's kind of like the MS is the separate entity,
It's gotten a lot better.
Why? How?
I don't know. I think just over time, my resentment towards it has gotten better in a way of just kind of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
I do think for a really long time, I was always searching for something that would make you feel better, or a cure, or whatever it might be, this path of just go to this person, go to that person, try that, try this. And that's what really was building that resentment. But there was, still hope. There still is hope. But I do think the acceptance of where we're at is what's really, and it took a long time, you know.
Yeah, for both of us.
And when you are down, it creeps back for me, right? Like I'm, you know, when you're having those moments is when I feel it more. But I used to kind of always feel it, right? I used to always be, you know, up all night, like looking like deep in, like who knows where I'd end up on these internet searches. But the acceptance of it is really the only thing that helps the resentment of it, you know?
Do you think the acceptance around this for you and I has been like a joint effort? Do you think that you and I have helped each other and sort of in moments when I've been a little bit stronger, you've been a little bit stronger, we've sort of like informed each other and helped each other get there? Or do you feel like your acceptance has been more influenced around my finally having more acceptance around it?
That's a good question. I can't really point it to one or the other, but I would imagine it's more so you.
Yeah.
But again, everything, you know, like the feelings around it all creep back when you're going through those hard times,
I know.
those hard
Yeah.
days. So it's not like forever gone, but I do think, you know, and I know that that's a lot of pressure for you, right? Like if my mood is based off of your mood and how you're dealing with this, that's even more pressure. So I've also realized that. And to be more, you know, even keel minded and, you know, not let the highs get too high and the lows get too low, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you feel this, but I could imagine maybe other caregivers do. And so that if you can speak on it, like, do you ever feel pressure to be strong? Or what would you do if you felt that pressure to be strong for this other person when you're just not feeling it? Like, do you think you could be honest and just be in that moment? Or do you think no?
Like if someone else wasn't strong for that person?
Or if they just struggled with it at times of just being like, I can't be the strong one today.
Yeah, not be the strong one today is okay. But like really long term, it's not, you know, I don't see how someone can have a spouse going through this and not be strong-minded about it, you know? It would be really hard.
Has your own individual therapy helped you around this?
Not really.
Or I feel like you don't even like talk about this in your own therapy, really.
No, I mean, I think it's funny that anytime someone asks me how I'm doing, I catch myself just answering how you're doing.
Oh, well, that's a big deal and not something you should do.
Yeah, well, it's just how I
what does that say? That means you're always thinking of me first, which I appreciate. But like I said, that like makes me so sad as like a partner. It's like equal parts like, oh, I feel so loved, but then also like,
I know.
That's
we've
like,
talked
honestly,
about it.
It's like one of the things I think I'm most sad about still about my MS is that like, you don't focus on yourself enough.
You know, I'm getting better, James.
I know.
Better
I'm
about
proud
it.
of you.
It's been a good week. All right?
That's been a good week.
Yeah, it's been a good week. I'm not like pacing around the house, you know,
watching me,
Amazon,
asking me
ordering shit on Amazon.
Well, you know, I think another thing you do tremendously well, because there's a line that can be blurred in a relationship, and in an intimate relationship of caregiver and partner. And I'm talking about this mostly when it comes around intimacy, because, you know, obviously disability comes into play, the disease comes into play, and that can bring a myriad of reasons why someone might not feel good, might not feel sexy, might not feel connected in that way. But something that you have been very vocal about, and I appreciate, is the importance of intimacy in the relationship. I think not just to keep the relationship alive, but also to honor like your partner and honor their needs and care about them. And so like, I guess I can speak from my perspective, like you just continue to make me feel desirable particularly in times when I feel the least desirable, and I feel just the furthest thing from sexy or attractive. Do you feel like you focus on that? Does that feel like it's like a normal part of a relationship, or are you always taking MS into consideration when it comes to intimacy?
I think, going back to what we were talking about before, I do think one of the other things that this has taken a long, long time is to not, look at you or look at our relationship and like think of MS.
Mm-hmm.
Because that creates just
distance
and all those things we talked about, the anger and the resentment and all that. And but one thing that I do know, and it's how I feel, and I've told you that, is like I'll always think you're sexy, right? But for me, as women and men, right? Like one of the important things about, confidence and all that is to feel desirable, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that you have times it's hard, right? But I want to I try to invite that in, because I want you to feel that way.
But you need to feel that way too.
Yeah, I do, babe. I do feel that way.
Okay, good.
I'm all good, but I'm good. I feel sexy. I want you to feel sexy.
I'm so glad you feel sexy.
Okay.
Support for Messy comes from Fatty 15. It feels like everywhere I look, everywhere I turn, people are talking about longevity and wellness and how do we live healthier, look younger, feel better. Well, in that vein, I am so excited to share with you guys C15 from Fatty 15. This is the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years, because guess what? Their scientific breakthrough is here to support our long-term health. When our cells age, our bodies age too. And so this study found that when our cells don't have enough C15, they become fragile and they age faster. So to help support and optimize healthy aging, this team of doctors funded by the U.S. Navy spent over a decade to develop the pure science-backed and bioavailable C15 ingredient in Fatty 15. So Fatty 15 is going to repair the age-related damage to cells. It's going to protect them from breakdown. It's going to activate pathways in the body that help regulate our sleep, cognitive health, and metabolism. This functionality leads to so many other exciting benefits now as we get older. In fact, 70% of Fatty 15 customers report seeing or feeling benefits within 16 weeks. So why don't you be one of them? Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help support your long-term health and wellness, especially as you age. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/messy and using code MESSY at checkout.
Well, how can I support you better? I'm speaking for myself and anybody else that's listening. Like, how can I support my partner, my caregiver better. Because like I said, that will make me feel strong. That will make me feel needed. That will make me feel better. And those things are important, I think, for my own healing, my own tenacity, my own resilience, is to still feel needed and not always taken care of. So how can I support you? How can I fulfill any of your needs other than sex?
Yeah.
That was just it. Just sex.
Stripper pole, get it going. No.
I'd end up just doing physical therapy exercises, holding onto the pole the entire time.
Could be sexy. Physical therapy can be sexy. Make it sexy again. I think the biggest thing, for me that I know for a fact is, if I was dealing with what you're dealing with, I would be, even if it was for as long as you, I would never be able to be as strong as you. And I think it's really hard for people to get to that point. And I do think you've done a lot of work to get to that point, to have the mindset and the strength around everything that you're going through. And the one thing that probably my biggest trigger, or whatever the word is, around this is when you say, you don't know what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what I'm going through. Because that's all I think about. That's all I know. I know. I might not be in your body, but, as if someone with MS, or, who has a spouse, that person feels everything that you're feeling at the highest level they can. And to kind of have that shut down, it's defeating, and it feels then you're like, well, you have no idea what I'm going through, know? Always acknowledging that you're in it with me,
Yeah.
that you're part of the team. That if we're a team, why ever have issues you're fighting enough battles. If your teammate or wingman or whatever is in that fight with you, why push that person out of that fight,
Mm-hmm.
and tell them. But again, I started off by saying I would never be that as good as you and as strong as you, because I don't know how I could handle it. It'd be really hard. So, you take it with, a grain of salt, where you're like, yeah, I get it. I get that you're feeling that way, but I'm doing everything I can to be there for you and feel everything that you're feeling,
Yeah. Do you think it would be helpful for me to do more check-ins? How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Is there anything you're feeling about this that you want to communicate? Would you feel more supported if I checked in more with you?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I think one of the things that happens in this is that no issue is ever as big as what you're dealing with MS. So,
but I don't like that.
No. I'm saying that there's a help. What you're saying is important and helps a lot. So yes, please do that, because then you're taking the attention off of feeling all the things that, if you're down or feeling sad, we can talk about, other things. So what I'm trying to say is, room for, because if I were you and I'm, let's say I don't know, hit my knee on something, or, stub my toe, and I'm like, oh my God, this hurts so bad. I know that you feel like pain like all day. And I'm like, well, I'm feeling pain. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think that it's
understand.
important to check in, but you don't have to.
I would like to more, and I will more. I'm
Okay.
going to take the note. Well, I have a bunch of rapid fire questions for you, but before I get to those, what advice would you give to couples navigating this? Whether this is a new journey for them, whether they're years into it like us, or not just a couple, whatever relationship of people, caregiver, patient, friend, spouse, whatever it is, what advice would you give to those people navigating?
Always know that you're on the same team, fighting the same fight. Don't distance yourself from that. Don't resent that because it's reality. I think as a spouse and as someone who's going through it, it's very easy to get caught up in things that people say will make you feel better, that I don't know, this exercise or supplements or things. There's a lot of things that people will say, well, this is going to cure you. This is cured. There's YouTube videos of all these people getting cured by MS and everything. And it really messes with your mind. And I'm not saying that it's not possible for people, but it's a lot to take on and it's a lot of pressure to put on that person to say, this will make you feel better. You need to do this. So while it's little, it's a smaller part of the puzzle of how important being a team is. The positivity you have with the person is very important, and also not putting so much pressure on the person to get better. Because when you put all the pressure on the person to get better, this isn't like a cold, right? You're not, but you motivate the person to live a healthy life, healthy lifestyle, healthy choices, and you build confidence in them.
And that you're there for whatever stage
you're there.
You're there.
You're not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. And get to know the person, right? Like I said this to you the other day. Can we talk about your book?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I told you this.
I love that you told me this. It was great.
It really did hit me, and I'm like, holy shit. I realized me being able to read that, and I spend every day with you. We're always together. I didn't know so much of that. And you share things. Like I don't share things. I don't talk. I don't remember. I couldn't write it. I don't remember a lot of things from, but I think it's so important for couples, MS or not, couples or not. I mean, health, whatever. Like spend a weekend or something where learn about the person. Because it helps you
about their past.
Yeah. I was like, wow, it helps you learn why they are a certain way or why certain things are traumas or they avoid certain things. It's really powerful to really dive in on. It's crazy to say learn about your wife or husband, but really learn about them. It's crazy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, you did tell me. You're like, I just feel like I know. It was almost like you said, you knew so much more about why I am the way I am.
That's the
which
key.
allowed you to, feel like you could show up for me better because it's like you were seeing the whole history behind. Like when you watch a character in a movie.
Totally.
You know why they're making the choices that they make. You know why they have the reactions that they have because of all of these things that you've been taken on this ride to know. And yes, my book is a ride for you to understand. I literally said something. A good girlfriend of mine read it, And I said something the other day and she was like, oh my God, now that I've read your book, that's like the most Jamie thing ever. That's like the most Jamie reaction ever. I was like, yeah, well, okay.
Everyone's going to know you.
Yep. Okay. Well, I have just 4 rapid fire questions and then your time is done. Okay. One thing you wish I knew without you having to say it.
I think what I said before,
You feel what I feel?
I feel what you feel to the highest possible feeling.
What's one thing caregivers need permission to feel, or we should give permission to feel?
Anger.
What's one thing that helps us stay connected?
One thing that keeps us connected would be doing activities together.
Yeah.
Without MS being a barrier or a thought.
Yeah. Just adapting and getting out. Yes, I agree. Like traveling, whatever it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's one misconception about MS and caregiving?
That everyone's situation is the same. The one thing about MS I've learned is it affects everyone so differently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everyone's situation is not the same.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed our therapy session today.
This is great.
I do. I feel like I learned I've gained some perspective about you. And
this is the most you've ever heard me talk.
I think this is the longest you and I have ever had a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it was when we were first dating.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you're the greatest. You're my backbone. You're my best friend. And I'm so glad for everybody to know you in this way briefly and to, again, I think really understand a lot of the reason why I am the way I am is because of you. So I love you.
Thank you. I love you and I feel the same way.
Thank you. I'm going to read a little quote that I pulled from this little thing here on my desk. Okay. That's so weird. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world.
Did you pre-select that?
I swear to you, it's in this box. And I pull it right out.
Say it again.
It's the lyrics. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world.
Wow.
And so it is.
Wow. And so it is. Love you.
This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windisch.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.